Hey everybody, Matt here for AVC and welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to be starting a build series focused on this all-wheel drive crew van. And to kick things off, we thought we'd let you know some of the differences between a crew and a cargo. Let's take a look. So first off, before we jump in too deep on some of the differences between crew and cargo, I wanted to point out that we did pick this van up used here at the end of 2022. It's pretty tough to come by vans. And so in order to get this crew van up and moving, we picked up a used model. So some of the things that have been done to this that we've already stripped out was they pulled out the factory seating. They put in some aftermarket seating. You can see some of the residue from their old flooring is still in here. A couple of the plastic pieces are missing, but I'll point those out as we get through some of these details. Let's take a look. So one of the biggest and most obvious differences between the crew and the cargo van are going to be the full side curtain airbags that come to the middle of the van. In order for Ford to support those airbags, they have to put in a factory headliner. And what that means for us as an aftermarket builder is that we cannot mess with those airbags. The whole reason we would pick up a crew is to have these airbags in here to keep our passengers safe. And in order for them to work properly, we need to leave this headliner in place. So it's going to limit the way that we build this van because we can't put overhead cabinets up here in the front, and most of our build out is going to happen at the back of the vehicle. Another one of the differences here is these Bpillar plastics. You'll notice these are a lot different than the bulkhead style plastics that come in a cargo van. We're also missing the big foam blobs here. So one nice thing is that we don't have to worry about wrapping blobs. It can make it a little bit easier. And these plastics finish out all the way to the window. So it's actually pretty tough to put a CR Lawrence window in here. Anything that has a captured ring on the inside is not going to install very well. But we're going to remove these windows and we're going to replace them with a glue-in substitute that has some venting that's going to support our camper lifestyle a little bit better. On the opposite side of the van over here on the passenger, we actually have a full plastic covered passenger sliding door. This is actually pretty nice because the plastics work really well with this door kit and I like the way they look. We are missing the upper pieces of the wall kit here and the customer removed those because they were running magnetic curtains. He did find them at his house and so he's going to be mailing those to me and we're going to actually reinstall those in this build out. The other big difference between a cargo and a crew van is that the crew is going to come with a 3-person passenger seat in the second row. Now the customer we picked this up from removed that 3-person seat and they removed that front flooring section from Ford. And that's actually good for us because we don't want those. And they actually had a JMG set of seats installed by JMG in Southern California. And that was one of the big selling points on this van was a high quality, professionally installed secondary seating option in the back. Made that little bit of extra for the used market right now worthwhile for us, knowing that a JMG seat is a good, safe, and nice looking seat for our van. So since that flooring is gone, we're gonna be replacing this entire subfloor with an AVC subfloor. And this is actually a pretty easy option for you to do at home too. So whether you have the 3-person seat and you just want to put in a full rigid floor all the way to the back, AVC offers a drop-in solution for that. And we have those crew seat cutouts already in our factory floor. So we just drop that in and it's an OEM fit all the way from front to back. We also have a 2-bracket option. And if this van had the existing seats, that would be another option we would consider here is removing the 3rd bracket closest to the passenger side, leaving the 2 close to the driver and replacing that with a 36-inch Ford Transit seat. Since all those seats and rails are gone, we're happy to keep this JMG plate and we're going to custom cut a floor around this plate so we can utilize the existing seating. Since this front half of the van is a passenger compartment, Ford puts in closed factory windows up here. Now, solid windows can be fine for a van, but we actually prefer some vented windows in here. So we're gonna make a video about cutting these windows out and replacing them with an aftermarket vented window. In the crew van, I mentioned you can't put in a T-vent window in here because of these Ford plastics, but we can do a glue-in window. We're gonna be putting in some windows from AM Auto, but you might be able to find some windows from Van Windows Direct that also can glue into this location. So the last thing I wanna mention about the crew versus cargo is not really something that's different, but it's something that's not offered. So we always like to order our vans with factory swivels up here at the front of the van. And with a crew van, they do not offer a factory swivel. So we're gonna have to add an aftermarket swivel. The customer we bought this from added some aftermarket swivels up here, but I actually don't like this brand of swivel and I much prefer our travois swivels that we put in. So we're gonna replace these front swivels with some travois. We're gonna push these seats back down a little bit lower and I think we should be pretty happy with the end product. So ultimately, is the crew van the right decision for you and your build out? Well, I would say it depends. If you wanna be able to drive this thing off the lot, take your family safely from point A to point B, all from day one, then I'd say the crew van is gonna be perfect for you. Now, if you want the ultimate versatility and options for your build outs, then the cargo van is probably the right decision because you're much less encumbered by the choices that Ford made for you. So those are just my thoughts, but we wanna hear from you. Do you think the crew or the cargo is gonna make a better van and why? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and we'll see you on the next video.